What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have very exciting news, especially for my Zhezhi mains. Zhezhi or Zhezhi, actually correct me in the comment section below. How do you exactly say this name? You guys have been on it every time ever since I mispronounced Taoki or Taochi. You guys have been correcting me in the comments. So correct me in the comments. How do you say Zhezhi? How do you say her name? Leave it in the comment section below. But we're going to be breaking down her kit in today's video. So if you enjoy this type of content, let me know by liking the video, leaving a comment in the comment section below, and consider subscribing to the channel. We're getting very close to 10K. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Apparently the website doesn't have the picture set up in the code, but we have some details. First thing that I want to note is that she is a 5-star glacial rectifier user, and it was presumed that she was going to be a support unit, but as it turns out, she's not really a support unit. She's more of a DPS, kind of like a sub DPS type of unit that actually supports as well, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. First thing to note is that her attack is actually 375, which is actually pretty low. It's lower than every other DPS that we have, any premium DPS for that matter. Her defense is actually second highest. I think Yunlin has a higher defense than her at 1283. She has 1197, but her HP is actually the highest out of all the premium characters that we've gotten so far. So moving on, anything important here, these are the materials you need for her. I'm going to make a pre-farm guide for her as well, but she actually uses the Lampy Tacit Core, so that's pretty good. We can actually get ahead of the curve and start farming that. All right, now let's get into the skills. Her normal attack, the diminishing brush, perform up to 3 consecutive strikes dealing glacier damage. Heavy attack, you hold the button, does glacier damage midair. So her basic attack is actually nothing crazy. Her multiplier at max, let me see if I can do some quick math, is actually about 200 and something. So her basic combo doesn't actually do a lot of damage, considering she is considered to be a basic damage dealing unit. Her basic attack combo doesn't actually do that much damage, but we'll see what the rest of her kit looks like. All right, resonance skill depiction, deal glacier damage. If Afflatus is higher than 60, additionally consume 60 Afflatus to summon a spiritual sketch left and spiritual sketch right on the ground. So I'm going to assume that Afflatus is going to be her forte bar. So if she has more than 60 on her forte bar, she's going to summon 2 sketches, which I'm assuming they're just drawings, because that's what sketch means. Just little drawings on the ground, considering she's a painter, right? She's going to pretty much paint 2 things, one on the right, one on the left, okay? Now for the hold, you can actually hold the skill, and if Afflatus is higher than 60, additionally consume 60 Afflatus to summon spiritual sketch left and right in the air. Okay, so this is pretty cool. You can actually pick and choose if you're going to summon these sketches on the floor or in the air. So this tells me that the sketches are kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it. She just draws in midair. I'm going to just assume that that's how it goes, because I thought that the sketches were like on the ground. She would do something and then something appeared on the ground. But if she can do it on the air, that means that it's something that just floats, okay? And then you can also do it in the air. You press the skill in the air. If Afflatus is higher than 60, additionally consume 60 Afflatus to summon spiritual sketch left and right in the air. So she has 2 ways of putting it in the air, 1 way of putting it on the ground. Okay, it's pretty good. Everything does the exact same amount of damage. So this is about 300%, 194%, 294% at level 10, whichever way you do it. So on the air or on the ground, it's going to be about almost 300% multiplier. So nothing crazy there still. Maybe we get something better down here. Resonance Liberation, Spiritful Animation, summon an Inklet Spirit for assistance. So this is going to be like a summon, right? Kind of like how Baija does it. She just has a little Lapras running around. The Inklet Spirit, when the active resonator on the team deals damage, Inklet Spirit will be summoned to perform a coordinated attack, dealing glacial damage, considered as basic attack damage. Each time damage is dealt, 3 Inklet Spirits will be summoned. Up to 21 Inklet Spirit can be summoned. Up to 1 Inklet Spirit can be summoned every second. The effect lasts 30 seconds until max Inklet Spirits are summoned. So this is actually pretty good. It says when the active resonator on the team deals damage, which means that you're going to be able to pop your Resonance Liberation, swap out to a different character, and then the Inklet Spirit is going to be there putting in the work. This is obviously synergistic with Zhezhi, because the summon Inklet Spirit is considered a coordinated attack, as it just says right there, coordinated attack. And it's going to help Zhezhi stack it that much faster. Also, if you notice, the multiplier is 65.21, and you have up to 21 Inklet Spirits that can deal damage. So if every Inklet Spirit actually does deal damage, the total amount of multiplier is going to be about 1300. So that's pretty much an ultimate's worth of attack. So it's actually a really high multiplier. It's just disguised as a low multiplier because it has so many different instances of that damage. Does that make any sense? Moving on into the inherent skills. Dash the brush. When casting Resonance Skill Stroke of Genius or Resonance Skill Stroke of Maestro, attack increase for 6% for 22 seconds. This can be stacked up to 3 times. Okay, so she gets a little bit of attack while she does her Resonance Skills. Inherent Skill Ornament. After the outro skill is activated, restore 15 resonance energy to the oncoming resonator. Okay, I mean, I guess this is good, but yeah, I don't really know where this fits with Zhezhi. I mean, she probably wasn't designed with 100% Zhezhi in mind, but I mean, it's okay, you know, it's good. It's nothing crazy, but it's good. Intro skill, Brilliance in a brush. Attack the target, dealing glacial damage. Multiplier is about 250-ish, so nothing crazy. All right, now, outro skill, Carve the Draw. The incoming resonator has a resonance skill damage amplified by 44% or until they are switched out. Oh my gosh, 44%. That is higher than Tauchi's. So off the rip, if you were thinking about building Tauchi for Zhezhi or for whoever, really, like if you were planning on building Tauchi for her outro skill, I don't know, you may want to consider going for Zhezhi or Ceci or whatever her name is. I'm gonna call her Saucy. You might want to consider summoning for Saucy because that skill amp is actually pretty insane. I think Zhezhi's about to be hitting for about 400k, like my Zhezhi. She's about to be hitting for about 400k. It's crazy. It says 1 second, but I don't think it's actually 1 second. Obviously, if this wasn't like obvious enough, all of this is pretty much ultra early beta information. This is definitely going to end up changing to some degree, so take this with a grain of salt. But this is pretty much to go over how her kit kind of works, okay? All right, now the meat and taters is the 4-day circuit, ink and wash. Spiritual sketch, up to one of each spiritual sketch left, middle, and right can exist at the same time, lasting for 15 seconds, okay? Wait, so how do you do the middle one? Because all we got was, yeah, we don't have the middle one. Where do we get the middle one? Because we have left and right, left and right, but we don't have middle. Where's the middle? Okay, well, I guess they're going to tell us how to get middle. All right, heavy attack composition. When performing the 3 moves below, if affiliatus is higher than 30, consume 30 stamina and 30 affiliatus to attack the target, dealing glacial damage and summon the spiritual sketch middle, holding the basic attack button shortly after basic attack stage 3. Press. Okay, so this is how you get middle. Okay, yeah, that answered my question immediately. All I had to do was keep reading. You don't have to do your skill in order to get a sketch, right? So with left and right, you have to do your skill or either hold the skill or just press the skill to get the left and right. But now if you want the middle one, all you have to do is basic attack 3 and then hold the basic attack after basic attack 3 and then press basic attack button shortly after casting resonance skill. So actually you can do left and right and middle by pressing your resonance skill and then pressing the basic attack button right after. So you're going to get 3 sketches right off the rip if you use your skill. Now, resonance skill, Stroke of Genius. When a spiritual sketch is nearby, resonance skill is replaced with Stroke of Genius. All right, so right now you're just starting combat, right? And you have no sketches on the floor. You press your skill button and then you're going to go into resonance skill depiction. Depiction is going to pretty much draw on the floor or on the ground, sketch left and sketch right. If you press your basic attack button right after that, you're going to do sketch middle. And then once you have any sketch on the ground or on the air, you're going to replace the skill depiction into Stroke of Genius. When Stroke of Genius is cast, Zhezhi will blink into the location of a spirit sketch and remove it, then summon a crane spirit to attack the target, dealing glacial damage considered basic attack damage. Gain 1 stack of Painter's Delight, lasting for 8 seconds up to 2 times. Now, remember, you can summon up to 3 in a span of a second. So you can summon spiritual left, middle, and right pretty much off just one skill, which this leads me to believe is that you're going to summon all 3, right? And then she's going to blink into all 3 if you just spam it. Right? It doesn't say it has a cooldown, right? Where's the cooldown? Yeah, it has no cooldown here. So it's Stroke of Genius Maestro. Let's go into damage data. Yeah, there is no cooldown for Stroke of Genius. It's just damage, right? Yeah, it's just damage. So I'm going to assume, again, this is just presumption. I don't really know. But because you have 3 sketches and every time you use the Stroke of Genius, you teleport into another different, sketch. She's going to be blinking from one sketch to another until you go through all 3. And every time you do that, she's going to summon something, right? Blink to the location. Then summon a crane spirit to attack the target, dealing glacial damage, considers basic attack damage. Gain 1 stack of Painter's Delight, lasting 8 seconds up to 2 times. So, but essentially it's pretty much like that. You're going to put the sketches out. She's going to teleport into the sketches, right? So you can actually put 1 middle on the floor and then the 2 in the air. And then she's going to teleport to the floor, air, floor, whatever. And then the crane is going to deal damage. The crane is going to be doing about 400 or 320, 360. Well, actually, no, 300% damage each one, right? So that's almost 1,000 right there. That's 900% multiplier if you do all 3 sketches. And now let's see what happens with these Painter's Delight. Resonant skill, Stroke of Maestro. When a spiritual sketch is nearby and there are 2 stacks of Painter's Delight, the resonant skill is replaced with Stroke of Maestro. When it's cast, Zhezhi will blink to the... Oh, okay. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, you know that we have the spiritual sketch, middle, left, and right, right? When you do the first 2 blinks, your next blink is going to be Stroke of Maestro. Instead of Stroke of Genius, it's going to be the Stroke of Maestro. Remember, you have 3 sketches. You used 2 with the first 2 blinks. You have 1 blink left. That last blink is going to be enhanced. It says right here, then summons a Crane Spirit to attack the target, dealing greater glacial damage considered basic attack damage, and additionally increasing the basic attack damage multiplier by 18% for 22 seconds. So she buffs herself. So she's going to do 2 of these, 2 Stroke of Geniuses. So that's 600%. And then, so it's actually a lot higher. Let me do the math real quick. Okay, so this whole combo, Stroke of Genius into Stroke of Maestro, is actually going to be around 956% multiplier. So that's a lot of damage, actually. That's a very considerable amount of damage, considering that it's split up. And then you also have the 1200 or 1300% multiplier from your ink spirits over here, the 21 ink spirits that we were discussing earlier. So she can deal a lot of damage, actually. Yeah, that's insane. She can deal a lot of damage. Afflatus, Zhezhi can hold up to 90 Afflatus, normal attacks, Grand Afflatus, intro skills, Gland Afflatus. So essentially her, let me see if there's anything else we can get over here. Inherent skill has a chance to produce special dishes. Okay, cool, whatever. She gets crit rate and attack. Okay, expected. All right, so she is in fact a damage dealer. It doesn't say what her tags are though, but we'll get to the tags whenever I find them. But she is definitely a damage dealer. It also seems like her Concerto regen is actually pretty nice as well. And then she also buffs the oncoming character or the oncoming Resonator with 44% skill amp. That's the highest skill amp I think we have in the game as of right now, because Reina's 15. All the other standard banner characters have 38. She has 44. I think Yanjin has more. Let me see. Let me check. Maybe Yanjin has more. No, 38. Everybody has 38. And she has 44. So yeah, that's pretty insane. She has a lot of synergy with Jinshi, but I just don't I don't know how we're going to make it work, because if this resonance skill amplification it expires when characters are switched out, then stacking Jinshi's incarnation, it's going to be a little tough, because you're going to have to swap directly from her into Jinshi, so the coordinated attacks, essentially meaning that you're going to have to finish stacking your stacks with Jinshi herself. I don't know, maybe they end up changing this. Hopefully it's a universal team-wide buff like Verena, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, she is in fact a damage dealer. We don't have a lot of information on her weapon either. We don't have what the weapon does, but we do know that it is a crit damage weapon. At least as of right now, it is a crit damage weapon. Our first rectifier with crit damage weapon, but because I have Yin Lin, I'm probably not going to go with this. Because I already have a premium 5-star unless this gives some sort of supportive abilities, I'm probably not going to go for this weapon. And also I'm more focused about the Concerto stuff. So I may just give Zhezhi the Concerto regen rectifier that I use on Verena. I have a lot of copies of that, so I can just throw one on there for the Zhezhi. So just to kind of summarize what her kit is all about, she's a basic attack damage dealing oriented character in which her skill is going to allow her to put some sketches all over the map. You can put them on the floor, you can put them in the air, and then once the sketches are available in the map, her skill is going to go from one skill to another skill, in which the new skill is going to allow her to blink to one of those marks that she just put down up to 2 times. After the second time, the skill is going to transform again into a different skill, which is going to be an enhanced version of the first 2. So she puts just 3 sketches down, she uses a skill, she blinks to one, that sketch transforms into a crane that does damage, then you use it again, you teleport into the other one, that one transforms into a crane and deals damage, and then for the third one, it's pretty much an enhanced version of the first 2. So the third one is going to deal a little bit more damage than the rest. And then once you get your Concerto up, you can swap out if you have your ultimate up, because her ultimate actually summons something else, something completely different, kind of like Baija, and that is going to help you with your coordinated attack. So you can use her as a damage dealer, and you can also use her as a coordinated attack unit, or both. Yeah, honestly, I was kind of expecting a just full-on fledged support, but I mean, I'll take this. Anything that helps my Jinshi deal more damage, I'm all for it, you know? So let me know what you guys think. We have another character that I'm going to be discussing later on today, but let me know what you guys think about Zhezhi in the comment section below, and until next time, guys, see ya.